Hello and welcome to Unchained RC. And today we are talking about the XC Technology E8 326S 160 amp Bluetooth ESC. All right. So I've installed this on my Techno Truggy and I don't have a sensorless motor on it yet. But the first thing I noticed switching from a Hobby Wing 8BL 150 G2 was that I definitely had way better low speed modulation. And if I don't quit shaking this desk with my arms as I notice my video bouncing around, I apologize. Um, I like this ESC so far. There was still some cogging issues at ultra low sensitivity I'm sorry, ultra high sensitivity on the trigger of the ESC and very low input. There was some light cogging, but I believe that'll go away with a sensored motor. I like this ESC so far. I haven't track tested it yet. I did go out to the track with it and I DNF'd every single race. But I believe it was the wires coming loose from the ESC. And then finally on the last race, I broke my $38 Amazon servo. And that was when I said, you know what? No more $38 Hobby Park Amazon servos, not for 8 scale. I would recommend it for 10 scale, but definitely not for 8 scale on that 35 kilogram Hobby Park servo 35 2MG, 32 2MG, whatever the part number happens to be. I wound up picking up a perfect pass, but that's for another video. I want to talk about the value that you get in this XCE8 ESC. If you compare it to its most comparable ESCs out there from Spectrum or from even higher, you find that the higher line ones will accept the same amount of cells, but have a higher amount of cells. They go to 8S and they're 200 amp generally. The Tekin one, if I remember correctly, actually, you know what? Don't let me mess that up. Let me actually bring that up. Compare Tekin ESC to XCE8. I forgot what the thing was. I off the top of my head, I looked up all this information. Now I can't remember it. Let me see here. Let's see, 2S, 4 to 7S nickel metal hydride, 2S lipo. That is not the one I want to compare. Let's see. The Beacon 1/8 scale ESC. All right, the RX Gen 3, that's the one we want to compare here. So if we're going to compare the Tekin RX 8 Gen 3 to the XCE8, we're looking at 2 to 6S on the RX Gen 8. So you can go a little bit lower on your cell count, which is fantastic. The continuous current rating on the Beacon is 210 amps and 160 amps on the XCE8. Now, when it comes to the BEC, it looks like you have 6 to 7.4 volts up to 8 amps on the Tekin. Then on the XC Technology E8, you have 6.8 to 8.4 with a 15 amp peak. Now, as far as programming, you can have Hotwire or Bluetooth and PC. But the beautiful thing about the XCE8 is it has built-in Bluetooth programming, and you just download the app from the App Store, and you're in there controlling it. And I got to say, honestly, it's amazing. You don't need to purchase the program card or some other piece of equipment to be your intermediary to program. And I really liked the ease of that. Let's see. The Tekin RX8 isn't waterproof. The EXC is. It's IP67. Now, the let me see what else here. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. Now, the continuous amps and peak amp, you have 210, which means that basically if you're requiring a higher load, you've got more headroom with the Tekin ESC. But if you're going apples to apples and oranges to oranges, if you're running a 4S battery with 2250 kV motor on both of these setups, you're not going to get any advantage out of one or the other. You're really not going to put one in a position that it needs to draw that much more amperage. Even if you're running in the grass or running in some higher traction, stickier, harder to get through surface. So it's kind of negligible having that extra headroom, but it's good, I suppose, overall. But apples to apples, you're not getting anything extra out of having that extra headroom. Okay, which is interesting. I did a little bit of research on this last night. Uh, what else here can we see? Let's see. But the value, dollar to dollar, it seems like this XC Technology E8 is the way to go. I picked this thing up on Black Friday for, I believe it was 103.99 or 109.99. It is a little bit bigger physically than, let's say, the 8BL 150. Let me grab my truck real quick, which is right next to me. And it's kind of hard to see because all the wires and stuff are in the way. Let me get this all out of the way and move my mic a little bit. My sound's probably going in and out, and I apologize. So I don't know if you'll be able to see the difference. Oh yeah, let me get all these wires out of the way for you. So maybe you can see if I get the wires out of the way. There we go. Pull this one back. I wrangle it through the ESC wires, but right there is the ESC. So now I'm going to, it's just a little bit wider than the Hobby Wing 8BL 150. But that wideness does create a little bit of issue in my Techno. So the sensor wire, which is over here someplace, there it is right there on top of the motor, right there, runs very, very close to the drive shaft. And that is about my only main gripe is the width of this one, or length, whichever way you're looking at it, is a little bit bigger than the average ESC. But in any basher, that won't make a difference. And I would have to say, honestly, if you're going to upgrade a bashing speed control and you've got the room for this ESC, it's fantastic. And the other thing that it does that a lot of ESCs don't do is that the fan on this one only comes on when it's needed. So if it's beginning to reach a temperature or get warmer than it should, or than the ESC senses it, turns on the fan and cools it down, which is going to give you a prolonged battery life on your runs with your car. Because normally when you plug the fan and they just you turn it on, they just sit and run the entire time, draining your battery. Um, I am so far impressed with this ESC and the fact that for $109, or I mean, I got this on Black Friday. Now I think it's 119.99. So you're looking at just say $130 after tax. I was impressed that for $130 after tax, I can could change my BEC to from 6 to 8.4. It has up to 15 amperage on that. Um, I was impressed that you could program it via the Bluetooth, which was just so simple. I really got to say, XC Technology, man, you hit that one on the head with the Bluetooth in this. I absolutely love it. If you could just make it a wee bit smaller, guys, man, it would be the perfect beginner or perfect upgrade ESC. Now I'm going to be using this for racing. and I haven't used it for racing yet, so I can't give you a racing review on it. But I can tell you that when I did race my hobby wing, I could notice that coming around the corners at slow speed, it just, man, it was trash. The hobby wing was horrible. Maybe I have it set wrong, which is entirely possible too. But it was no good. It was no good, no good, no good. Also, coming up, I'll be doing a review, which everybody's already done it. I'm just kind of doing reviews of stuff that like no one's really done a review of this XCE8. As far as I can tell, I'm the first guy out there to do it. Will you see this? I have no idea. Hopefully, you're able to find it and you like the video and the review. Um, I like it. I really do like it. The ease of use, once again, is fantastic. And you don't need one of these dumbass cards that you've got to look up what the numbers mean, because when you're programming the item that you're programming changes from ESC to ESC with Hobbywing, which makes no sense. Now, if why not just keep everything the same in order on the numbers, and then if an ESC has more features, why not just address those features at the end of the ones you already have? So it just I don't know. It didn't make sense. Don't get me wrong. This is easy enough to use a Hobbywing ESC program card. You just have to look up what numbers mean what to your ESC, because it's different on different ESCs via Hobbywing, which makes no sense. But I'm happy so far with this XCE8 ESC. Um, the instructions were clear enough. The beginning programming is even easier than every other ESC out there. Once you have your ESC plugged into the receiver, when you turn the car on and your ESC's on, all you do is hold forward, and then you wait for it to stop beeping. Once it stops beeping, pull the trigger all the way back. The light will blink. It stops beeping. Let go. It does it all over again. It stops beeping, and you are freaking ready to go with your ESC, and it's tuned to your or programmed to your controller. That's fantastic. That is so easy. I don't have to do the beeps and touch a button like with Hobbywing. Hobbywing makes it a pain in the ass to do that. Hobbywing, listen to me. Dear Hobbywing, if somebody sends this to you or you happen to stumble across it, they're killing you with setup, bro. They are just murdering you with the setup ease on this XCE8. Killing you. And I'm assuming it's probably the same with their other Bluetooth receivers and I'm sorry, with their other ESCs, whether they're Bluetooth or not. But anyways, I like it. It seems to pair well with this DDF 350. And if you haven't already watched it, the whole purpose of this channel is to find equipment at a good price that works really damn well. I don't make a huge amount of money. I make just above minimum wage working at an auto parts place. So my dollars count. I have a 7-year-old daughter as well. I can't put all my money into this hobby, but I love this hobby. Let me tell you, I love this hobby with all my heart and soul, and it's been a part of me since I was a kid. Um, uh, and that I guess that's where it sits on the Ritz, boys and girls. Once again, I'm Richard Oliver. This is Unchained RC. I hope you found this informational and helpful. I appreciate you stopping by and checking it out. Thank you and have a great day.